Resistance is Futile by Tom Seast. Futile. I'm not a fan of Star Trek, Star Wars, or any wars for that matter, but there seems to be a substantial disagreement on the origin of the phrase, resistance is futile. Apparently, the phrase was popularized by the Bork or Borg in the movie Star Trek The Next Generation. I wouldn't know because I've never been awake or attentive through an entire Star Trek movie or episode. Someone apparently found a reference to the phrase in an X-Men comic written in 1976, so it seems futile to even try to figure out where the phrase came from. Fertile. I'm more interested in the idea or topic that resistance is fertile. It seems that we are actually witnessing a fertile resurgence of resistance all around us. So in my mind, resistance is fertile in so many areas of life. Authority. I have observed that most individuals begin to resist authority at an early age. Infants and children begin to resist suggestions, requests, or orders from their peers and from anyone. Children start using the phrase, "You're not the boss of me," at an early age. Depending on their circumstances of life, they will either continue to resist and learn through resistance, or they will conform and go along. I'm not here to discuss whether the resistance to authority is futile or fertile for opportunity, but only to state that I've observed the resistance throughout my life. Rules, laws, mandates, and regulations. It also seems that as the number of rules, regulations, mandates, and laws explodes every year, and the number of government agencies and workers to support these continues to grow, the resistance to these new rules increases as well. As in every case, you have people that accept and try to comply with and understand them, and then you have people that just try to resist any new rule of any kind. Here again, resistance is fertile and resistance is futile. I'm not here to discuss whether this trend is good or bad. Fitness. Resistance is a key part to an effective fitness strategy. By increasing the load on various muscle groups to the point where resistance is futile, resistance becomes fertile and the muscles and body become more fit over time. I'm not here to discuss or argue whether strength exercises or resistance bands or aerobic exercises are superior. I'm just pointing out that resistance is a key part to the success of a good fitness regimen. Life and death. Most humans and beings have a natural instinct for survival, or it could be said that they have a natural resistance to death. As life progresses, our thoughts and attitudes about life and death change over time. Some people fear dying so much that they resist living, while others fear not living and forsake concerns of death. In both life and death, I think that you can hold the view that resistance is futile and resistance is fertile. I'm not here to judge how you are living. I'm just making the observation. Insulin. Our human bodies use the hormone insulin to transform and move sugar, glucose, in its various forms in and out of our muscles, fat, and cells. I'm no expert on the topic, but I am an expert on consuming sugar. Eventually, our bodies become good at storing sugar in the form of fat, but not as good at releasing the fat as energy to be burned, and we become heavier. The terms insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity are bandied about by the enthusiast on the topic because the resistance to the consumption of sugar can both be futile and fertile. I'm not here to discuss the finer points of insulin resistance or sensitivity, but just to make you aware of the concepts. Gravity. Resistance to gravity is futile, but can be fertile. The seeds of plants fall to the ground because resistance is fertile, and the next generation of plants grow from those seeds. But It is futile for the seed to resist gravity and try to fall up. Resistance is both futile and fertile. Aging. There is so much discussion now about how diet, exercise, environment, and many other things affect how we age and how much we enjoy the aging process. We can't resist getting older as time passes, so resistance is futile. But if we understand how we in fact age, only time will tell us if resistance is fertile. Can we resist aging and get younger? I certainly don't know the answer. Futile or fertile? I'm not here to draw conclusions, only to provoke thought. But I think we have to consider our attitudes and opportunities about the topics I mentioned and decide if we want to make the investment in learning more about them. We live in such a connected world where information is available on all of these topics. For instance, I really enjoy getting information from Facebook groups like Reversing Insulin Resistance and Lower Insulin, where you will find enthusiasts that will discuss the finer points on the specific topics. And there are Facebook groups and groups on other social media platforms for similar topics. I encourage you to go explore, learn, and resist. It may be futile or fertile. Me. Is resistance futile? Is resistance fertile? I think for me it is both. But I continue to resist every day in every way so that I can continue to learn and grow. For you, you have to decide. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. If you like my writing or my reading, feel free to follow me at the links below.